today. Sorry I've been gone for a while. I had a lot of stuff that I needed to handle in my own life. So I have this new deck for you guys today. It's the Tarot of the Divine. It's by Yoshitani. And all of the cards are based off of fairy tales and folklore from all over the world. So all kinds of stories in here. It's really fun. And it's been a really beautiful deck. I've been studying it for myself for a while, but I finally wanted to bring it in here today because I was doing readings for people. I was starting to do private readings for people, and not all of my clients are white European people, and that's what most of my original decks were when it comes to the art. And I really wanted something that could represent all kinds of people because I definitely have a lot of ties to all kinds of cultures and people from all kinds of countries, and it just felt right? Very multicultural deck. So it wants me to cut the deck for you guys. It wants 4, and it wants a card from all 4 of these piles, being different for you today, Capricorn. It said it wants the sample pack. Like you want a sample of this whole deck just to see like what's in it. But let's see what's coming up. Listen to that 4-wheeler going down the road outside. And look at these 4 cards. 4-4. I know it's a 4-wheeler because the teenagers in my neighborhood always drive it by. So 4-4. That's a message coming through for you. Very solid, very grounded energy then. Very much about manifestation. What we got? What we got? Ooh, this Page of Swords. She's cool. I like her. This is so funny. This gave me, what it kind of did was it made this out like this was Princess Jasmine from Aladdin, and like there's the palace in the background, and it's like this is when she snuck out and got to be in regular clothes to go explore everything. The Page of Swords, this is funny, it's bringing up my other deck, which I do have, which is based off of like Norse European mythology, and my Page of Swords in there is a little bird, and that's where it's saying the little bird is that messenger that comes and tweets little messages in your ears and stuff. It's implying that interesting. Sorry, it was talking to me. This little bird is getting out and spreading the word about something. So that can be good, right? This little bird is either carrying a message for you, back and forth, flitting around, or this person is, or this is you, and you're kind of being this little bird, right? So, very sweet, endearing energy, very swift energy, oh wow, it just showed me this river of gold. I didn't even pay attention to that or notice that. That's what I mean. It's like, it's like Jasmine got out of the palace and went in to go explore, found her own little river of gold. And it's like, this is the messenger bird to go back to the palace and, I don't know, deliver the news or something like that. It's like, there's something along those lines. There's definitely communication. With that river of gold thing, it does feel like possibly, if it's not money itself, then it would be like liquid gold, spiritual gold, right? There's some good stuff there. It's like your fountain of youth, your fountain of happiness. So there's something here. There's definitely a message coming through about like taking off the princess costume and just kind of like slipping into some regular clothes for a while and getting away from all the structure and walls and everything like that, and like getting out and going and finding your little river of happiness, right? What else? This 9 of Swords. And this is intense. This card right here is intense because this is the story of Oedipus Rex. And Oedipus Rex is a Greek mythological tale in which Oedipus's father, the king, and his queen, they have their son, Oedipus. And it's bringing up the fact that Oedipus is about foot. There's something with his foot when he's born. I can't remember the exact detail, but Oedipus, it's something about his foot, and that's why he's named Oedipus. And anyway, they go to the Oracle of Delphi, and the Oracle tells them that he will one day marry his mother and kill his father. And for that reason, the father, the king, sends Oedipus away because he's trying to avoid this prophecy. And as we know with prophecies are kind of one of them self-fulfilling things. And so, and we've seen it 1,000 times in all the stories and all the movies and everything like that. Everyone always tries to avoid the prophecy, and what happens? The prophecy comes true because you tried to avoid it, because that's the news you needed to hear to set you on the path to get things to do what they needed to do. Woo! I'm feeling that message, Capricorn. And because he makes the choice to send the child away, the child grows up in a whole other city, doesn't know his mom, doesn't know his dad, grows up to a full-grown man, accidentally passes his dad one day on the road and kills him in a scuffle for some reason, comes back to his home city, falls in love with the queen, who still happens to be his mom, and ends up marrying her and everything else. And then it's really terrible in that sense, because once his mom realizes that the prophecy still came true, then she gouges out her own eyes with her brooch off of her toga, and it ends in tragedy, and it's just really sad. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, this Nine of Swords is all about that anxiety, about those things, about things coming true, about things being avoided, and therefore they became exactly what they were prophesized to be. And so that's the whole thing, is like, and there's nothing that Oedipus could have done about it at all, because he didn't even really fully know everything. He was just going about his life without this knowledge, and it all came to fruition anyway. So that's the whole thing about this card. Ooh, thank you, Spirit. That's what it's saying all about this card, is like, you can know the prophecy, you could go after the prophecy, you can avoid the prophecy. Either way, it's going to come true because of the fact that you're not in full control. The divine's in control. The oracle told you what was going to happen, and no matter how you try to avoid it, it's going to happen. And there's a lot of anxiety involved in all of that, and that's where it's just kind of the powers of oracular vision are definitely a gift, but they are a gift in ways that some people are not prepared, that some people just don't understand is the way to say it. Like, they just don't understand. They just don't understand the powers of prophecy and how it works. And it's also one of those things, like, you can study and learn and get anxious and get all up in your mind about these things all day long. And at the end of the day, you're still not going to know exactly how things happen, because that's not how prophecies are told to people. They are just, you just kind of get to see bits and pieces and the final goal a little bit, and then the rest is all mystery. And so there's definitely some like swords and anxiety and that oracular stuff going on here. Yeah, and with this Two of Coin, there's a lot of balancing, and that's what I mean. Okay, so in the middle here for you so far, Capricorn, there's a lot of kind of anxiety in the mind and balancing some stuff, and that's where it just kind of feels like in the core you're dealing with all this, which might be why the first card out the gate was like, dude, get out of the palace, get out of the get out of the palace, get out of your robes, stop trying to be these figures right now, because guess what, they are like all up in this energy. And maybe you need to get out and go do something different and go, you know, go flit around like a little bird, because also you're balancing a lot of things in the real world, like literally, not just in your mind. Like you're balancing a lot of things. I can't remember this exact tale, but there's 2 babies in her arms. There's one that has like bare legs, and then there's one that has a bare top half. And she has to carry both of these babies. And again, with the coins, with it being pentacles, this can definitely be about money. But I would definitely say that there's things here about, I mean, look at all these babies, right? Like there's a lot of, I mean, it said spirit babies. Like there's a lot of spirit baby info for some of you Capricorns. This is either about a real child that you have, or there are maybe some spirit babies. You could also be like a teacher or something like that. So you could be a teacher who has lots of babies to kind of take care of at this time. We're about to go into holiday breaks and stuff. So, and that's therefore report cards and things like that. Like there's a lot of stuff that you're balancing. You're balancing a lot of little babies. And at the same time, and that's where this Page of Swords comes in, because this is very much a childlike energy, and it says, but you're also somewhat of a baby yourself. Not a full-on baby. It says you're someone's baby. And you also always have that childlike teenager age energy in you, and that's exactly what this page is about. And so that's where it's like, that's the kind of energy you need to tap into. This being responsible, rulers and parents and the oracle and everything, like that's a lot of it. That's very intense sometimes, right? Maybe step away from that for a while. You can't always step away from a 2 of Pentacles because it's very real. It's very literally in your arms and you're carrying that weight literally. But this is a lot more of this is a far more manageable energy than this is. So it's kind of also encouraging you to maybe just really focus on what is literally right in front of you, what is literally in your hands at the moment, because that might be much easier to balance and realistic to balance than kind of trying to go through all that, right? What's this last thing? That devil card. Well, ooh, nice. Hey! I like that. It like spun it on me real quick because at first I was like, ooh. But then it reminded me that the devil card is very much Capricorn energy. And some Capricorns might not be totally thrilled about that. But I do want to say, y'all, like, can I just tell you right now how beautiful this card is? Like, so pretty. So, but this particular, it wants me to look this one up for you. Someone actually wants to know about this tale, so let me see what we got in here. It's from Brazil. It's either Boitata or Boitata. The devil gives in to the ego, lusting for unnecessary or harmful things, unwilling to leave negative situations. It is a dragon sitting upon a pile of gold. It does not need a person setting a forest on fire for their own gain. Greed, controversy, violence, strange experiences, addiction. So, I'm going to have to research that a little bit more. That's where you're definitely... It wants me to pause here. Hang on. It just wants me to pause. There's a lot of bodies claimed here. And it was kind of pointing out the lines here on the side and how they kind of transform into faces and things like that. There is... Okay. Okay. Woo! Okay, Capricorn. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. That's what it was saying. Okay, so, God, sorry, it took me a while, but it had to. So, Capricorn, this is your energy card. This is your power energy card, and it took me a while to really get to it, and that's where it was just saying, like, it said, you are not afraid of the devil. You can face the devil. And it said, because bitch, I am the devil. That was so funny. And the reason why it said that is because it was saying that you're, as a Capricorn, you're very much able to acknowledge like what behaviors are of ego and what is heavy and what is wrong and what is right. Capricorn is very much in touch with that. Just because they're an earth sign, they're the cardinal earth sign. They do have that kind of like water goat symbolism, and the goat's a more traditional devil symbolism, and this is the dragon. And specifically kind of bringing me to smog and everything, and that's where, and smog is totally like down in the gold pit, right? And very greedy and like literally sleeps under the gold because he's got so much of it. And I was actually just watching The Hobbit, Desolation of Smog, not too long ago, and that's what he says to Bilbo when Bilbo's trying to sneak in and get the Arkenstone, is he's like, and I will not part with a single piece of it. And that's where I'm getting very much the greed message off of this, the greed message. So it's like you can very easily recognize these shadow traits and energies and this greed, because you can recognize it within yourself, and therefore you can recognize it in others. And that is why you're unafraid to face this energy, because you're like, bitch, I am the devil. Like, I know I've got these things too. I know I've got this stuff too. And so now this is a major arcana, and so that's what I mean, is like there's a lot of stuff building up here, but it's building up to your power card, which to me does feel like a clash of energies, like a, right? Almost like two devils facing off. Which devil is the right devil? The lesser of two evils type deal. There's a lot of this energy coming through here at the end, and it's like, there is very much a story. It's like getting to be free, getting out of the castle, running into mysteries and things that caused you anxiety and whatnot, but nonetheless came true, whether you avoided them or not. Balancing a lot, especially maybe with some money or some children. And then there's this kind of like facing of really dark energies and things that are within you. And it's like, I ain't afraid to look at that because I am the devil. It's just a lot of self-recognition. And it wants me to point out that outside of Christian faith systems, the devil does not represent teetotal evil, right? It is an aspect of all of ourselves, just like Jesus, Buddha, everything like that is also an aspect of ourselves. So this is just about recognizing that. And actually, devil energy is self-serving energy, but there are times when that energy becomes important, because you have to recognize when there's maybe a bigger devil around you, right? And that's where it's like the lesser of two evils. You might have to become a devil to somebody else because they, or that situation or whatever, is being a devil to you. So what's the bigger devil? You being a mean-ass devil, or you facing the one that is, and just did like circling around you, right? Got you locked down in the pit type deal. Ooh, Capricorn. Capricorn, that's what I'm talking about though. Like, that was that power card that came through. It's like awakening your own dragon. Dragon queen, right? Dragon queen. Yes, beautiful. Finishing up with the Fool card here. Yes, let's move along to something new. Move along to something new. Just like Ariel wanted to try walking on land and go doing something completely different. She had to transform from a mermaid, and that's where it's like she had to let some things go, and she had to transform. And it really does depend on which Little Mermaid story you read that kind of goes off of this with the Fool energy. And that's why it's so perfect for the Fool card, because in the original Little Mermaid, after she goes through her transformation, once she has her legs, the prince always loves to see her dance, but the act of dancing is excruciatingly painful for her because of the fact that she's not used to having legs. And therefore, it's like very much this like self-sacrificing thing where she hurts herself just to please him. And it actually doesn't turn out to be as awesome of a story. And then there's the Disney story, right? Where it's all happily ever after, and she gets the prince. And then there's like more movies after that. And of course, I always prefer that ending. And that's the ending I'm going to send you out on. And so let's just leave on that positive note, right? With some happy vibes. Actually, it wants me to pull a clarifier on that Fool, because it said we are not playing with that Fool. It wants me to pull a clarifier on that Fool. And it gave you like two different cards. Very powerful number though, with a 6-6. 6-6. It wants me to bring up that my grandmother, when she passed away, the magic number that I just say her spirit sent to me was 666. Oh my goodness. Wow, this definitely just shifted for you, Capricorn. Okay. When my grandmother passed away, it was a busy day. It was like the day of my son's birthday, and I had to check my bank account because I had to leave my card behind because I needed to go to the hospital. And I had to leave my card with my husband so he could go pay for the party and like do all that stuff. And so I was running around in all of that energy, right? And when I checked my bank account on my phone, the number that came up literally that day was 666.50, $666.50. It freaked me out for the longest time with this devil energy. Like, I'm talking like I was literally like, what? To be a person who was raised in a Christian-based faith system and to see the number 666 on the day your grandmother died, like, y'all, I was like, what the actual fuck is going on? And I was very, very upset by it and very concerned. And it wasn't until maybe a year later, I was listening to another YouTuber. Her name is Valerie Love. She's a Christian-based witch, and I really enjoy her channel. But I was listening to this video from her like a year after all that happened to me. And that's when she told me in the video that when her mother passed away, that she received a special number from her, and her special number was something else, right? It could have been like a 444 or something like that. That's what I mean. I can't remember what number she said for her mother, but she said that the day her mother died, that she received a number. And when she told me that, it transformed that moment on the day when my grandmother passed away completely, and it took that devil energy out of that message, and it transformed a number that I had been told my whole life represented evil, and turned it instead into this really beautiful spiritual connection number. And 666 to me now, or just 66 or 6, whatever, the number 6 in general really, really represents a perfectly balanced spiritual, especially a feminine energy to me. And it's not quite like the 8, but it's like 6 is still a very balanced and flowing number, and it's just very much feminine. And a 15, which is the devil card, 15 adds up to 6. So here's your 666. This is my grandma. This is any other deep feminine connections that you might have coming up in that regard. There is technically kind of speaking, that number being present here. And for me in that connection, it just says like my grandma, my maternal bloodline, very much those spiritual numbers. And so clarifying this Fool card, it's like, get on your boat and sail to the calmer waters. Stop messing with some of this deeper stuff here that is causing you a lot of stress and anxiety. And at the same time, there's that childlike energy again. Like, notice the sweet things, sweet memories. There is a lot of nostalgia and reflection. This is very much about soulmates and soulmate connections. This can be about passed on loved ones. Since I'm bringing that up, this can very much be about that. Nostalgia, memory, soulmates, connections of any kind, children, all of that stuff is here in that Six of Cups, and it's very sweet, right? This little boy figure is giving this little girl a gift, some flowers, and it's just beautiful. And at the same time, there's kind of this need to kind of step away. So I would say the mermaid's leaning this way, the boat's going this way. Get away from some of this stuff and move to this more beautiful energy here. And that's what I got for you, Capricorn. Whew, that was powerful reading for you guys. Super awesome, though. And just let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will hopefully talk to you guys later. Thank you.